Hello, it's Gerty here. I'm not going to do the intro or outro or anything. I've just thought I'd hop on here due to recent events and do a quick reaction video to this, which I found on YouTube. And because I can, this is distinctly adults only. My channel's set to adults only anyway, but viewer discretion is going to be strongly advised. With that, beware. We're going to jump in.
I've made loads of mistakes though. I was out on a patrol one night. It was meant to be an op. We were out in the vehicles. We went out. I remember my boss, and as he was giving us a brief, this motorbike came over the verge of this hill, and then it started coming down the road slowly. I remember shooting duress, which is stopping, Lasuna Porta, hands up and stuff. The little bits of words that we knew. It sped up and started coming down the hill towards us. So I remember
which wouldn't have helped because this kid was actually deaf and mute and used to hang around the garrison anyway. Probably excitedly going there. Probably I think he was new, whatever was going on, and he was a well-known sort of camp. I don't know what they call them, but kids that hang around the camps. They're usually all into the Western footballers, aren't they? The young lads. But this lad was deaf and mute, so yeah, there's that to it. I'm not suggesting he knew that. Could he have factored that in? He was an unarmed civilian non-combatant in an occupied zone, not a war zone. So let's just plough on.
Off to the left and firing a few rounds at the centre mass of this guy.
Right. So when he says this, let's actually have this right. So, and then he goes on to say that he was fired because he fired and several other people fired at the body of a teenage person. Yeah, so probably blew his chest apart. Should we just say that? Are we allowed to say that? Yeah, with the sort of military stuff we've got nowadays, even whatever it is that people fire from those things that people use, which I can't say on YouTube, but I'm sure once you've had a fair few, I think he goes on to say 12 rounds, there's not a lot left of his chest cavity, is there, darlings?
Same time, the other two commanders had done exactly the same. So this guy had
makes it so
three sets of about, I don't know, probably 12 rounds altogether.
12 rounds.
Hit them in centre chest, and he came off the bike and he lay there and he was all twisted. Straight away our mission's been caught.
I'm going to give you a messianic alert here.
Right, I'm like, fuck's sake, Showman, is he dead? Is he dead? And I moved forward, I knelt down beside this guy, put my two fingers on his...
He's literally a hero there, wasn't he? If you think of it, come on, everybody. He was a hero. Because he was there and he had his two fingers and he knelt down. That is such typical messianic, grandiose, whatever, add any adjective after that, darlings. Because it all, he's already said that they've blown his chest apart. So anyway, Jesus here, Jesus was there, and he not only went over and just checked if there was any sign of life, but we're given the vision, let's say the vision of this wonderful credit to society. He knelt down. And one usually only kneels to royalty, don't they, darlings? Or maybe to pray to their deity. So he knelt down, and with his two fingers, he checked for signs of life. He did. Stevie Wonder could have seen there was no bloody sign of life, but anyway, let's carry on with the narrative.
So checked up.
Let's go. Come on. Irritating.
He was the acting sergeant major, and then he goes, right, fuck's sake.
He was the acting. I love it when people get called acting. Oh, they're the acting this and they're the acting that. Well, he was acting pretty bloody badly. Go on.
Speedy, have you got a body bag? I did have one, Chris, but I didn't want to get...
Did they call him Speedy because there's not a lot going on? Do you know that it's usually in male-dominated, especially military or police, these sort of male-dominated places, when they call you a nickname, it's usually an ironic one, isn't it? Can I say that? Should we just put that out there?
Put away. And I was like, no, mate, I don't. And he asked the other commanders, and they knew I had one. He says, right, fuck's it, Jim, I got bin bags. So they got the bin bags out. They double bagged the bin bags.
Straight away, if you go into this, things like I did before I flapped my gums. And let's have this right. I only knew about this just after I found out about the vulnerable YouTuber scenario and outrage, which it was an outrage. We'll part that up. And somebody actually came round my house, and another YouTube creator actually went out of their way to come and visit me in my kitchen and sat down and made me listen to a podcast. I'm not going to say which one because there's loads of them, and all of them I've downloaded, darlings, for let's say posterity or my posterior, something like that. And I just ended up in tears. I could not believe what I was listening to. And there's people around him that actually defend him to their own ultimate downfall, which is that's obviously freedom to do what you want. Be what you want, be a cabbage, it's up to you. Act like a bleeding melt, whatever. You do you. But I do know that there are people around him who he sent his book to. He would, wouldn't he? Luckily, I wasn't graced with one. Thankfully for him. Because I'd have burnt that on my driveway and filmed it. Yeah, but there are particular people who he sent his wonderful biographies to, autobiographies, and they're not a book that somebody else has written, and it could be sort of plagiarised, made up, what do you call it, like elaborated on. No. These are his biographies. And obviously, like, even though he's just turned 50, he's got 2 autobiographies. Do you get me? Most people of 80 ain't even got one, you know, because we're not mainly that, or hold ourselves that interesting. So anyway, but obviously, Joe 90 here is. And so yeah, there's that too. Haven't read his book, you see. Or, like me, I mean, it's out there in the ether now that I never gelled to this character. But I would have never said publicly. In fact, I always said I would defend him publicly, which I did to my chagrin, it seems, retrospectively. But yeah, since then, this person did come round and make me sit and listen to this particular podcast. And as I say, there's a number of them, so you can pick any of them. And yeah, Captain Pugwash here is quite vociferous. And what shall I say? Oh, I don't know what the word is. Not a word I could get away with on YouTube. Anyway, and he's quite proud of himself. So there's that to it. And if you think he's actually dined out on this story dozens of times that I've since noticed, and it's in his book, which is monetised, somebody's child. Or am I not allowed to say that? Somebody's child. Somebody's child. That's all I've got to say. And now, Mr. Moneybags here has got money. Has he sort of, you know, am I not allowed to say that either? Sort of compo. Because we've all got children. And I wouldn't say on YouTube what I would like to do if I was that boy's mother, or indeed the other people's mother. Because sadly, it seems to be a running theme, you know. It's not funny, I'm not laughing, I'm literally not, I'm just trying to be Gerty rude. I'm so worn out with this creature. So anyway, he's going to take me to court, and I can't wait, I really can't wait. I would love to know this lad's name. If there's any veterans out there, or anybody that served with him, or anybody that knows anything about this case, if you could please privately send me the boy's name. I'd love to know his name. Maybe I could find him, maybe I could find his mum. I ain't got a pot to piss in, but I'd give her a couple of quid, and even though I ain't got a pot to piss in where they live, that not pot to piss in would go a long way. So, you know, it's just terribly sad. It's terribly, terribly sad. And yeah, to continually feast on it, you know, the carcass is already deceased, to keep regurgitating the story, and then to actually have the absolute gall to say to people, oh, you're not allowed to comment on it. And had I known this a year ago, it would have been a whole different ball game, I can assure you, cancer or not. And I sort of like bought into that whole BS. It's another story, I don't want to go on about that. But yeah, it's a quite, I think, a quite chaotic kind of psyop of some description that I think you have to be on some sort of psychopathy spectrum to get in on. I don't care to get in on. People want to defend him, you defend him. Good on you, you do that, you do you. But and you can slag me off as much as you want, call me all the names you want. What is it I've heard today, that apparently I owe my channel to this creep? No, he owns his channel to the bot farm he pays. So do you know what I mean? Whatever. It's like I've elucidated today. A lot of his fans can't even control their bladders, let alone their brains. So I've got contempt for every last one of you. Anybody that could defend. It's one thing doing it, and he condemned Harry, and let's all condemn Harry, because I mean, look at him. He's Harry, isn't he? Yeah? And he shouldn't have blabbered, and everybody's condemned him for blabbering. But then he didn't do what this person did.
Thanks. And Dean went over to this body, lifted it up, threw it on top of the snatch bonnet. And he went, fuck me, it's only a kid. So Dean bent the body in half, put it in the bin bags. So we threw it in the back of the vehicle. He says, right, Speedy, get in the back of the wagon. So I got in the back and I'm standing up. So I took my boots off and I put my feet in the bin bag with the warm body to keep my feet warm the whole way back to camp.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we're not allowed to talk about. That is why he's... Oh yeah, I've heard all these things people send him... Because apparently I'm jealous and all this rubbish, right? I'm just so glad I'm away from them. I feel so much cleaner now. You know, I was on this whole gravy train of believing. I believed what I was told by somebody that doesn't live in Britain. I was never on him. I couldn't stand him. Especially when he bawled out a friend of mine. Well, not yeah, she's a friend. She's a subscriber friend. And a very elderly lady in Canada that had done nothing but be his, well, super fan, really. And yeah, I mean, I've even seen him bawling out his super fans, but they're just so blind. They don't see it. Whereas my friend did. She was so upset it actually made her ill. So I wasn't surprised when she contacted me. I advocated for her, and I politely begged him, because it was Christmas, please, could he just apologise, because because she was a super fan, it would make her life, it would definitely make her Christmas. And he refused to, so I told him to go something himself, and that was the end of us. But no, I mean, I never knew he was this. I never knew he was this, and I need people out there to realise I never knew he was this. It was literally due to another content creator, well-known content creator, that visited my house and made me sit and watch. Because I was sure as hell never read his book. I mean, who would? Even his BFF has never read that load of old nonsense, because they told me. I think they use it to keep the table up or something. No one's read it. Maybe people need to read it. Sick, mate. Sick. And yeah, I stand by every word I said. I know I'm right. And it's not even a question of me being right. Maybe I'm wrong. But if I'm wrong, where does that leave him? So, there you go. And take me to court. Take me to court. I cannot wait. I would love to defend those children. I would love to. And I wish other adults did. I wish people were outraged. You know, it's not like it's happened. I've had people say to me, oh, well, you've never served in a war zone. Well, A, it wasn't a war zone, it was an occupied zone. They were kind of like out-militarised, the non-combatant civilians, by the very virtue of, I've just said non-combatant civilians. And I had never been near Queen Camilla's handbag. But I know if I had, I wouldn't take a piss in it. I don't need to be in an occupied war zone to know I wouldn't behave like that. You know, none of us do. And it seems like there's various conventions and humanitarian protocols, military, legal and internationally legal, that agree with me. I beg to differ with you lot. So, whoever you are, all the haters, give me a view, go on, give me a view. But none of you subscribe, I don't want any of your subscriptions. And if I find any, you'll be deleted from my channel. I don't want anything to do with any of you. So, and all you people that have supported me, I love you all dearly, and all you people that have emailed me and tried to get me back on my feet, thank you. I love you all individually, each and every one of you. Thank you. And with that, bye-bye. Let's say goodbye.